Alright everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, we have a, I just blinked, what the heck. We have a Cakewars tips and tricks guide, and I'm gonna go more in depth in some of the details. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully you guys learn something new. And I hope this tutorial helps you. I've worked really hard on it, spent a few days, and had to record a lot of games, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So I have a few pictures coming up about all the maps, and credit to Nothinbutnet for all these pictures. He helped take them all, and yeah, huge shout out to Nothinbutnet, and thank you so much, man. So first, let's start with the 8 brick rushes. Now, the only 8 brick rush is Boardwalk, and what you're going to want to do for Boardwalk is you're going to want to spend 5 bricks on an iron sword and 3 bricks on 16 blocks. And now for the 11 brick rushes. Now we have two 11 brick rushes, which are Cherry Falls and Marley's Mushroom. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get 11 bricks and then spend 5 on an iron sword and 6 on 2 sets of 16. So you'll have 32 blocks and an iron sword. Now for the 14 brick rushes, and we have 4 14 brick rushes. Ascent, Hacienda, Oasis, and Dynasty. And what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to spend 5 bricks on an iron sword and spend 9 bricks on 3 sets of 16 blocks of wool. So you will end up with an iron sword and 48 blocks of wool with 14 bricks. Now, last and certainly least, we have the 17 brick rush, which is Bucolic, one of the worst maps in Cakewars history. It is a 17 brick rush, and you're basically going to be spending 5 bricks on an iron sword, and then 12 bricks on an entire stack of blocks. Alright, so basically how you're going to want to PvP in Mineplex Cakewars is you're going to want to learn how to W-tap and S-tap. Now I do have a PvP guide that I will probably put in the description of the video, and it teaches you a lot about it, but I'll go over it briefly again. Now, W-tapping is when you're sprinting, and then after you hit the player, you let go of your W key, and then you click it again after, so then it basically allows you to get out of the other player's range of reach, and then you can go and hit them again and then repeat. And S-tapping is where you do the same thing, except instead you have the W key held down, and then after you hit a player, you're going to want to just tap the S key with your index finger. And this is for PC. If you guys are on controller, you just want to do the sprint forward, and then after you hit them, pull back the joystick really quickly, and then sprint forward again. And now strafing. Strafing might be one of the more important ones for Mineplex Cakewars, mostly because the knockback is it's really not it. If you have a good day and your knockback is amazing, then yes, I would definitely recommend for you to W-tap and S-tap. But if it's just like normal Cakewars or Mineplex knockback, I recommend just try strafing and getting behind the opponent. That might just be the easiest way to go about. So make sure to check out my other video about W-tapping and S-tapping if you want to learn more. And yeah, that's it for the PvP segment. Alright, so this next segment is going to be about jump bridging or just regular speed bridging. Now, I was actually curious to see how much faster it would be. So I have this kind of simulation here where you have to build up 3 times to get to this part. And it kind of just demonstrates, if you guys definitely, if you guys don't already, definitely build up higher in Cakewars, so other players can't get to your base as easy. So I'm probably gonna have like a timer. I don't know if I'm gonna show it on screen, but I'll definitely show the results. And I'll just do it after the first block places. So we're just gonna go up here and then go up here. And yeah, okay. I don't know how fast that was, but that was me jump bridging. And then I'm also gonna do me speed bridging. Alright, so now we're gonna do just the regular speed bridging, and we're gonna go up here, bridge up 3, and then yeah, okay. I don't know how long that was. However long that was, I'll probably put it on the timer below. Now I'm pretty sure, I don't know if which one's faster. Jump bridging should be faster, but it might take longer because of the delay. So if you guys also want to just jump bridge like this, like build up and then whoops, restart that, build up and then just go like that from there, that's also a lot easier. And yeah, really important if you guys want to know how to win Cakewars games more. And there's really no point in breezely bridging because you just go a lot slower. I only do it sometimes to show off me being able to hold down the build button. So yeah, that's it for the bridging segment, and yeah, on to the next one. Now I have a good amount of videos talking about bridge fights. I have my PvP tutorial and I have my how to fight on bridges tutorial. Basically, you guys can already tell it's pretty important. You're not gonna find yourself on a bridge almost like, okay, you're gonna find yourself on a bridge, but you're not gonna find yourself fighting an opponent on a bridge every single game. But if you get good at it, I would abuse it, because I won't say I'm the best. Like, I've stopped doing some bridge fights, mostly because I don't usually get in fights on bridges, but when I do, I'll try to block trap and I'll try to do some of my strategies, which I recommend because a lot of them work and it could save you taking a ton of damage. Like, say you're on full health, right? And if you just regular fight someone and you just trade, but you have better stuff, you'll be really low. But if you're able to block trap or something like that, they might only get like 1 or 2 hits on you, and then you'll still have a lot of health. So definitely recommend watching my videos on how to do bridge fights. That's really important. I think might be one of the most important things, because you can really avoid fights basically just by outsmarting your opponent. Yeah, and on to the next segment then. Okay, so for the game sense segment, basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing a game and I'm going to be talking about everything I'm thinking about in this game. Now, don't think that this is the only thing you should think about. This is just covering most of the broad topics. There are a lot of other stuff you should think about. Like, just a lot of more in-depth fundamentals that just don't happen in your usual game if you're rushing. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing in this next game sense segment. And then after this game sense segment, I'm going to go more in depth about certain things that you will most likely find in your games of Cakewars, and how to deal with them, obviously. Okay, so this is gonna be like the actual game. That last game, I guess, was like just for fun. I'm probably not even gonna put it in the video. So basically what I was talking about last game is that I'm gonna be explaining what I do in a regular game of Cakewars and how I think and all that stuff. So we got, what is this, Azienda, I think? Yeah. We got Azienda, which means it is a 14 brick rush. So we're gonna go, okay. We're gonna go rush middle. And you always want to rush middle on Azienda, and blue is the only team without a cake defense, so let's hurry get this middle point. Now usually I don't stop for middle points, but what I've been seeing recently is a lot of players start camping middle. So, oh Jesus, oh my gosh. Yeah, I just got destroyed by blue right there. It looks like my teammate, one of my friends, can actually finish him off. Yep, okay, they got the cake, which is good. And they should be able to take him out. Now usually what I would do in that situation is I would just rush back there with an iron sword. Obviously, is what. Oh, okay. He died, so I'm actually gonna do that. But I did get blocks because I thought he'd live. So yeah, and they do have diamonds. So one's probably about to get a diamond sword, which means I gotta play this carefully. And the red's at middle. Let's see what they do here, because I can't rush any bases, because you need a pickaxe for both of them. But red's going to blue right now, which is a bold move. I don't think they're gonna live. I didn't see any. I didn't see that he had anything else besides a wooden sword. But blue's actually hiding, so. And this guy is also hiding. Okay, this isn't smart. Let's go up here. And yeah, okay, we got him. Okay, so we got that one blue guy, and okay, he's letting me get the resources. Good man, good man. We'll go get diamond sword. And usually what I like to do on my second rush is I'll obviously get a pickaxe unless I know for sure 100% that they don't have it. And I'll get like a diamond chest, not diamond, iron chest plate and a helmet, is what I would do for my second rush. Alright, so since I have somebody that I know, I'm gonna go rush yellow with him because it'll just be a lot easier to take out a team. Plus, if we rush yellow together, then we'll also be able to rush red together. So if you guys can, try and play with a teammate that you know is pretty. They don't have to be really good, but at least you know them personally, so you can know what type of play style they have. That's always a lot better than with random teammates. So yeah, I was able to cut him off here because I knew he was going to continue that way. And we still have a lot of blocks, and I'm pretty sure yellow should be dead. And I can see one red going over there. And these guys at their base are not really that stacked at all. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to go eat their cake. Should be pretty easy. And I know 1 or 2 people's here. Yeah, okay, 1 or 2 people here, and I knew they weren't stacked. This guy does have a diamond sword, though. This guy's running around the back. He's probably going to try and do something fishy. Nope, just jump off. Oh, okay, this guy's here too. Should be GG. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, sweet. So we don't have anybody else here, and basically to recap before the video ends, not the video, this game ends, is that 1, get the right amount of blocks for a rush, and okay, he's stacked actually. 1, get the right amount of blocks for a rush. 2, try and play with somebody you know as much as possible. If not, I'm not saying that you're not going to win, but it would just be a lot more helpful. Obviously know how to PvP pretty good. And then just think about the game smart, okay? Don't go all rushy and all that stuff. Now, that might work if you're like a very experienced player, like what Nothinbutnet used to be. I mean, before he got banned. But you guys are going to want to also get a chest plate and a helmet on your second rush. Okay, remember that chest plate, helmet, second rush, and a pickaxe. That's what I like to do so I can take out teams of 4 easier. And yeah, on with the rest of the video. Okay, let's get some wool. Let's get some wool. So say the cake's in there, and they just have a giant layer of wool. What I like to do is I would buy endstone, right? But not to defend my cake. You see, I would buy endstone because most players, most Cakewars players, if they're not as good, they're just gonna want to stay and defend, which means they probably won't be buying an iron pickaxe. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Most players probably won't be buying an iron pickaxe, and you should take that opportunity and use endstone to block in, because they won't have a pickaxe to break it with. Now this is a good scenario if it's late game and all cakes aren't eaten or destroyed yet. You can easily take this opportunity and just buy endstone. Let me give me like a stack of endstone. Okay, so just buy endstone, and then you're gonna basically same thing. You just want to crouch here, and if it's open, right, you can probably just get the cake. It'll be like right there, right? But if it's not open and they're surrounding it, you can either kill them, or if you have shears, you can just go pretty fast like this, and then just block up with endstone right here, and then get to the cake immediately. I just broke that. That's literally the most easiest thing to do, and that's how you're gonna get a lot of cakes that have gigantic defenses. So if you guys were ever wondering, like, how am I supposed to get a cake if they have a humongous defense, digging in might be one of the best ways to do it. So yeah, I hope you learned something from this segment, and on to the next segment. Alright, so in this segment, we're going to be talking about what is the best defense. And now to explain this, I'm going to be using a quote that I like, and I don't know where it's originated from. I looked it up, and it said that Wikipedia said that it was George Washington who said it, but it's Wikipedia, so who knows if it's true or not. But the quote is that the best defense is a good offense, and I like to take this into most of my games of Cakewars, and I don't really spend too much time actually defending my cake. You see, the thing is, you're never gonna get better if you always just stay at your base the entire game. You gotta go out there and try to rush. It doesn't really matter if you die, because you're just gonna respawn anyways. And if you're just trying to get better, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're learning something new every single game, or you're improving between your games, that's a win for me. Now, if you guys, what I think, like, for an actual cake defense, maybe it would just be like one layer of wool or a layer of clay. Because just don't leave it open. I usually leave it open sometimes, but that's because I know people usually aren't gonna rush, and if they do, I can trust my teammates into covering the cake also. So if you're playing with randoms and you're trying to get better, I think either just leave one layer of wool or just leave it open, because I know your teammates are probably gonna do something about it. So yeah, that's basically the best the best defense you can ever have is a good offense. Alright, so now we're going to be talking about enchants and how to take/deal less or more amount of KB. So if you guys know, Mineplex knockback it's really weird. One person gets a really good knockback and they go flying, and then somebody else moves about like half a block. But the best way to maximize your amount of KB is a good sword. Now you can either get a knockback sword from one of the small islands that spawn up or pop up around the map, or you can just get an iron sword. Now that was in one of my game sense tips, was to rush with an iron sword, and if you don't rush with an iron sword, you are probably most likely gonna die. The fact is that you don't deal nearly as much knockback with a iron sword with a wooden sword instead of an iron sword. If you've ever like tried to troll somebody by like hitting them with like a block or something, you'd notice that they literally don't move. Any trap that deals with knocking somebody somewhere, if you use a with just your hand or like wool, they literally don't move at all. So this is why swords are really, like, a good sword is really important to dealing more KB than you would usually deal. And also, the better armor equals to more KB. Now this was given to me by Nothinbutnet, and yeah, the better armor you have is the less knockback that you should be able to take. And for enchants now, for enchants, usually what I like to get is, depending on how I'm playing, if I'm doing like an obsidian trap, which I might make a video about, it takes really long to get one. But if I'm making an obsidian trap, I usually rush resources first. But if you guys want to know how to get better, I would recommend getting sharpness first. It's probably one of the most useful enchantments because first off, you do a lot more damage, and you'll also deal more knockback with the sharpness enchantment. Now, protection, it works the other way around. Protection is where you can take more damage, and you can also take less knockback. So those are the two main enchants that I would go for first. Okay, so this segment is gonna be about how to PvP multiple people at one time. Now this refers to basically when you're trying to eat someone's cake, or when their cake's already gone and you just have to take them out. Now in this first one, this team up was kind of easy because first off, these guys just let me eat the cake. I don't know what they were thinking, but they just let me eat the cake, and then the other guy got stuck in a block. So this was an easy team wipe, but one thing you have to remember when trying to take out somebody's cake, or fighting a 2v1 or 3v1, is to always strafe. If you make your movements as random as possible, they won't be able to guess it. And aiming in Minecraft PvP is all about tracking your opponent and basically knowing where they're going to go next. So that's a big part of Minecraft PvP, and if you make your movements as random as possible, they won't be able to expect where you're going to go next. And this might seem kind of self-explanatory, like, of course I'm going to strafe and stuff so nobody can see where I'm going. It might seem self-explanatory, but even me, a lot of the times, I don't strafe sometimes, and that's a big problem that I do, and that's why sometimes I die to when I'm taking out teams, is because I'm not strafing. I just try to W tap because I forget about the knockback, and it doesn't work for me. And then I end up either dying or taking them out but being on really, really low health, and that's not a situation you want to be in after you take out your first team. After you take out your first team, you want to be on relatively full to like 3/4 full. So at least like 7 hearts. 7 hearts is the right amount of health that you should be at to make your life a lot easier when taking out the next team. So yeah, that's basically how you're gonna want to do your 2v1s. You just gonna want to keep on strafing, and then get those few hits on the opponents, and then you should be fine. Now, if you guys don't really like strafing and trying to avoid your opponent that much, there's another tip which isn't as, I mean, depends on what situation in. It's not as effective sometimes, but usually it could work also. But that's targeting one person. If you're fighting 2v1s, you only target one person, and then just try and take them out as quickly as possible. And especially if you have the warrior kit, you will be able to get strength and regen. Strength is the important one. But as you saw there, I was able to take out that full iron with the diamond sword while I was eating the cake, and then I took out his teammate because he was already weak, and I took the chance at the opportunity at this cake because of the other guy went to the emerald point. So that's something you also want to think about when fighting like 2v1s or 3v1s, is mostly try and get them separated if you can. But if you really have to fight 2v1s or 3v1s, either one, strafe around your opponent as much as possible. It's probably one of the best ways to not die by them. And also, 2 is to just target one person. If you target one person, it'll most likely go well for you, but it's not like 100%. So yeah, those are the 2 tips on how to 2v1 or 3v1, or basically just PvP multiple people in general, strafing and or targeting one person. So yeah. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something new in this tips and tricks video. I wanted to go more in depth because I know there were already tutorials out there, and I didn't want to just repeat the same thing they did because that would just basically be copying. So I wanted to go over more details in depth and what you would do in certain scenarios in the game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys can use these tactics in your own games. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and have an amazing day.